Hey, this is Gabe. We're back for part 5 of our CAGED series on 7th chords. This is the last chord, D shapes. Let's go. Okay, so just like from before, I'm going to play a D, open D. I'm going to swap my fingers, so fingers 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to fake my 0, and then slide my chord 1 step forward. So now I have a D sharp. If I move again, I got an E. If I move forward, let's say I grab fret 10. I'm playing C major. Okay? The way that I'm finding this quickly is what I showed you at the end of the last lesson, which is the little trick. We've done the E-shaped. E-shape's pinky is touching the D string. That is the octave. That's the note that we were using to find our 7. So if that is the root, then my bar is going to start from there for the D shape. So if you're a little unclear on your letters, you might know the letters on string 6 pretty quickly. So use that, an octave jump, use a power chord, think pentatonic, whatever you need to find the octave, and then that becomes your root note, your D string, and then I make a D in front of where the first finger is. Okay? So that's the basic outline, right? So let me move up. I'm just going to do a C. So again, I'm at fret 10. So I'll call it the frets. It's 10, 12, 13, 12. Okay? And again, just like the theory from the other lessons, and if you haven't watched them, go check them out, is to make a major 7 is we're going to take the octave, which is the pinky's note, and it's going to go 1/2 step backwards. So what I'm going to do for this to make it really easy, I'm just going to use 2 fingers. So you're barring the first 3 strings with your ring finger. The first finger is just touching string 4. Okay, so right now we've got C major 7, fret 10, and then fret 12 from strings 3 through 1. Okay, and again, just like if I need to move it, if I want to play a G, okay, G, octave, got my root, and my 2-finger chord. Okay, so it feels like C major 7, G major 7. Okay, I'm going to move on, so I'm going to go to the dominant 7s, right? Let's come back up to what we had. So again, fret 10, I'm doing C major 7. String 2 is where, again, the octave was. It's where the major 7 is. So when we make it dominant, this is where we move the 7 1 additional step to become flat 7. So we now would have a D7 shaped C7. So if I touch a C and I make a D7, I have C7 as the actual chord name. So again, if I want to move it around, I play G7. I got my G, my octave, D string, capo, bar yourself, make a D7. But the chord is G7. Okay? So if I did like a blues in C, so C7, F7, G7, I'm going to go back to the 1, back to the C. All right, so let's move on. Let's go to the minor 7s. So if I take the dominant 7, the 3rd of the chord is on string 1 right now. So that note needs to move backwards 1/2 step. In order to do this, we need to modify, we need to transform our fingers a little bit. So I'm going to call out the fingers and the frets to you. The first finger stays on fret 10, string 4. Your pinky's going to go fret 12 on string 3. And then there's options on this next part. I'm going to show you the way that I play it, which is my middle finger goes on 11, string 2, and my ring finger goes on 11 on string 1. I've seen people do a bar with this and do the ring finger. I can't do that. My fingers don't really bend, so I can't really do it that way. So I'm often just doing the separate finger version of it. Okay, so if I wanted C minor 7 to a G minor 7, so I grab my G, I'm at fret 5 on string 4. Okay, so it goes like this. All right, now that we've got our minor 7, our dominant 7, and our major 7, we can do our 2-5-1. So I'm going to do D minor 7. I'm going to move myself, fret 12, string 4, minor 7. I'm going to drop to fret 5, string 4. This is G7. And then I'm going to move myself to the C, which is fret 10. And I'm going to do the major 7. Okay, so here's what we got. Fret 12, minor 7, D minor 7. Fret 5, G7, dominant 7, they're synonymous. And then C major 7, so fret 10. Okay, I'm just going to put together with some rhythm. All right, I'm gonna move on. Okay, we have minor 7. Our next chord in the series is minor 7 flat 5. So if I take the minor 7, I'm holding a power chord. You might know from my other videos when I talk about the 5th of the chord, the 5th is like the power chord note. When it's a flat 5, you take that note, it's the pinky's note, and it needs to drop a half a step. In order to do this, because we already have these other 2 fingers in the way, I'm gonna make this easy. I'm gonna make it 2 fingers. So it can be the first finger in the middle barring, 1 through 3. So I'm on fret 10 and then fret 11. You could also go middle and ring. You can go ring and first. There's different ways to finger it. Just find something that's comfortable for you, and I might give you some other sort of options with this shape for something else in the future. Okay, so if we now have minor 7 flat 5, I can do a minor 2 5 1. The minor chord in a minor key is minor 7 flat 5. So I'm going to go D, again fret 12, my 2 finger chord. So I have D minor 7 flat 5. I'm going to drop to fret 5. It's G7, and now my C minor 7. So here's what we have. Right? I can also do like a 1-6-2-5 or a 6-2-5-1, like any sort of combination. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play in C minor. I'm going to go 1, flat 6. Don't worry if you don't know what that means just yet. I'm just going to tell you the letter. It's an A flat. So I'm on fret 6. I'm going to play major 7. I'm then going to go to the 2 chords. I'm going to jump up, fret 12. Minor 7 flat 5, D minor 7 flat 5, and then I'm going to drop down to G7. So our 5 chords. Let me recap that. It is C minor 7, A flat major 7, D minor 7 flat 5, G7. Do it again. I'm going to call it the fret of where the root is. So fret 10 minor 7. Fret 6, major 7. Fret 12, minor 7, flat 5. And then fret 5, the dominant 7. Okay, let me put that together. All right, let's move on to our last one. Our last chord is the fully diminished. This was half diminished. To make it full, we need to lower the 7 again. Right now, the 7 of the chord is on string 2. So what I need to do is move that note back a half a step. You are going to recognize this shape if you have watched the other videos. It is the checkerboard. But again, it's checkerboard on strings 1 through 4. This is the exact same shape as the G7 shapes, right? If I was like doing G7, sorry. If I did G7, but it's G fully diminished 7, you would have that exact same pattern. So I'm just gonna move it. Checkerboard, I'm gonna do it on C. So if I touch the C, fret 10, ring finger, fret 11, middle finger, fret 10, pinky, fret 11. Again, you can move this. Minor thirds away, 3 frets away at a time. It is the exact same chord. We will talk about it another time. Okay, so if I try and put something together for you, I'm gonna do a 2-5-1, and I'm gonna use this fully diminished chord as a pivot, the way that I've done in some of the other lessons. So I'm gonna do C major 7, sharp fully diminished, D minor 7, G7. I'm gonna come back to the beginning. So C major 7, C sharp fully diminished, D minor 7, G7. Okay, put that together. So we are done with the series. This was the last shape, the D shape. We've done all 5. It is called CAGED, okay? So we did like C-shaped, A-shaped, G-shaped, E-shaped, D-shaped. They're all connected. So what I'm gonna show you in the next series of lessons is how to connect them together. We're gonna take one chord type, like major 7, and walk up the neck all 5 shapes. So C major 7 shaped C, A major 7 shaped C, G major 7, and so on, okay? So if you wanna get ahead of me, feel free to start to try and connect them. Try it in the key of C. That's a good place to start because then you can do the first chord all the way at the end of the neck, then you have plenty of room to get all the way to the top. Even if you play acoustic, you can still then do it in the key of C. Sometimes if you start with a different letter, you might sort of run out of room before you get to the edge of where the body meets the neck on the guitar. Okay, I think that's it. I will see you in another lesson, all right?